Thank you. So basically, I have only 10 minutes at my disposal. So in the next 10 minutes or so, I will discuss use cases of two AI tools which I use, which have considerably sped up some, day-to-day activities and helped me to save some time. The first one is a speech-to-text tool called WhisperFlow. It is an AI tool, and it has helped to tremendously increase my documentation time. And by documentation, I mean it can be writing consultation notes in your OPD, operation notes in your OT, or even for drafting your WhatsApp message, emails, etc. So we have been conventionally, either most of us have been doing either writing or typing, but it is clear that if we do our documentation by talking, our documentation speed automatically increases threefold. So that's what WhisperFlow, this speech-to-text AI tool, does for us. Using it is very simple. It is available across all platforms, be it Windows, be it Android, be it Mac. You can, with one account, you can download it on multiple devices, and it works across all apps, be it Microsoft Word, your browser, WhatsApp, etc. So just to give you an idea of how it works, what you have to do is you have to press the function button and then talk. And as you talk, your speech will get transcribed into typed text. So I will just play one short 30-second clip so that you get a hang of how this tool works.
History, 6 years old, 5 years old male child, history of fall on outstretched hand, pain, swelling, deformity, right forearm. Examination, right forearm, edema, tenderness, deformity, no distal neurovascular deficit, no compartment syndrome. X-ray findings, X-ray right forearm, AP and lateral views, shows right fracture, radius ulna. So in this paragraph, history, examination, X-ray findings are headings, and arrange the rest of the spoken text in the form of bullet points.
So from this clip, what you will understand is WhisperFlow is not just a speech-to-text software. It does something more than that. So I did a lot of and it removed all those filler words. Then I did some mistakes, that 6 years old, sorry, 5 years old. So it corrected that. Then it has a command mode. That is, I said that put this as headings and rest of the text as bullet points. So it did that. Additionally, what I like about this tool is that it understands medical terminologies quite well, spells them quite well. And in case it misspells any word, then once you correct it and it gets automatically added to the dictionary, and next time you say that word, it gets spelled out correctly. So that's about WhisperFlow. Another good, nice feature of this tool that I like is Snippets. So suppose this, type text, I wanted to save it as a fracture proforma. So then I have to create a new snippet. I copy paste that type text and label it as fracture proforma. So the next time I go back to WhisperFlow and say just fracture proforma, the entire paragraph will get typed out. So that was WhisperFlow for you. I will now move to the next tool, and I'm going to talk about the next era of browsing, that is AI agentic browsers. And for the last decade and a half, I have been using Google Chrome as my default web browser. But with the advent of a bunch of new AI agentic browsers, I think it is now time to move on. I have been using Perplexity's Comet browser for the last approximately 4 months, and I shall show a few use cases with that. But before I go to the use cases, I will just show you the how it looks like. So this looks like a very basic browser, a routine browser, but the magic lies in this assistant button at the top right corner. So before moving to the use cases, let's just understand what an AI agent is and how does it differ from generative AI, which Neeraj spoke about. So generative AI is something that generates a response in response to user prompt. So its job ends there. AI agent takes it one step further, and it can use tools or memory to actually execute tasks. To understand what I mean, just let's take a simple use case. Suppose you want to go to a restaurant tomorrow. You want to go to a Chinese restaurant for lunch, and you want to book a table there. Okay? So you want to go to a restaurant which is close to you and which has good reviews, and you want to avoid restaurants with loud music. Now, in such a scenario, what generative AI will do for you is it will screen and it will provide you booking links for 1 or 2, Chinese restaurants which are close to your place. On the other hand, what AI agent will do is it will actually complete that table booking for you. So that's how AI agent differs. It actually executes the task. So this simple use case, I will actually demonstrate it and I will submit this prompt to my browser. And as soon as I submit that prompt, look what happens. That glowing blue border means that on that tab, actually the AI agent is working. Now I am not working on that tab, okay? And it has opened my Google Maps. It is searching for Chinese restaurants near me. Now it is opening Google reviews. It is looking out for restaurants which have good reviews. Now it has opened the booking tab, and it goes on to finish the booking in my name. And at the end of that, when I go and check my mail, I have received the booking, the table booking confirmation. So that's what AI agent does. It executes the task. So with that, let's go to some use cases in day-to-day work. First of all, organizing email. So since I have started using Comet, I have almost stopped opening my mail inbox. Instead, what I do is in the AI browser, I just tell my browser to categorize my mails into 3 categories. Number 1 mails are actionable mails on which I have to take some action within a deadline. Number 2 mails are important mails which are for my information. And number 3 mails are mails which I can just ignore or archive. And when I submit such a prompt, what happens is I get the entire response in the form of tables. So simple tables which at a glance I can make out which mail is important and which is not. Furthermore, now look at this mail. This is a mail which I have received from our hospital surgery coordinator, and she is asking me that one patient wants to confirm a surgery on so and so date. So can we confirm this date? Is it okay? And I want to respond to this mail. So what I do is I don't go to the inbox. Instead, I just click this tab over there so that mail opens up, and then I ask my AI assistant to reply to this mail saying that this date is okay. So automatically after that, the AI agent, it takes over the tab, it clicks on the reply tab, it drafts the mail, and it sends across the mail. So now the surgery is confirmed. The confirmation mail has been sent across. Furthermore, now for this surgery, I want to order implants, and I want to send a WhatsApp message to my implant rep. So can my AI agent, can it send a WhatsApp message? So I send such a in the same thread, I add a prompt that send a WhatsApp message to my implant rep. So in this case, what happens is the browser opens a new tab. It opens my WhatsApp in the new tab. It searches for the contact details of my implant rep. It drafts a WhatsApp message and it sends across a WhatsApp message. So that's what the AI browser is doing. It can also open separate softwares. The final use case I will show, responding to insurance queries. So this is a mail which I have received from the hospital medical claim department, and they have forwarded a mail received from the insurance company wherein they have asked certain queries regarding a patient's medical claim process. So to respond to this mail, if the AI assistant has to respond to this mail, then he will require some information regarding the patient's ailment and what surgery has been needed. Now in my case, in my EMR, the patient consultation notes are uploaded to my Google Drive, okay? And through this setting called connectors, I have connected my Comet browser to my Google Drive. So when I go to my AI assistant and ask it to reply to this insurance query, what the AI assistant does it first opens up my Google Drive. It opens up the consultation notes of this particular patient. It retrieves the patient's details as to what is the ailment, what surgery is to be conducted, and then it goes back to the Gmail. It drafts the response to the insurance query, and at the end of this, it does something called as a handover. That means it gives over the tab to me and asks me to approve this draft, and if that draft is approved, then I can send it ahead. So these are a few use cases for which I have been using these agentic browsers in my workplace. You can think of use cases where you can apply this, and I can assure you that in each and every repetitive task in your day-to-day work, you can incorporate AI and make your job faster and save time for more productive work. Thank you.